Hello, namaste. Oh, it's so nice here. I'm coming in a couple of minutes early, just so people can come in mainly, and I just want to set a couple of things up for some smudging and get myself together. So hello, who's connecting? Who's here? I found a spot in the shade for my camera, so it's so nice down here. I mean, this is where I had to be. So I'm down here at 5 Mile Beach in southeastern Tasmania. Hobart's which is the capital city, it's about 15 minutes that way. The airport's about 2 minutes that way. I live just over that way, about a 5-minute drive probably. So not far at all. It's so private and beautiful. It's just me and you and the birds. Hello Loretta, lovely to see you. So it's our healing event for some of my Temple of Balance patrons. That's those of you that pledge at the $15 a month level or higher. Thank you so much for your support. So as part of being at that pledge level, this is like a reward, if you like, or yeah, I guess they call it reward for pledging at that level. So I've been doing these healing events for 2 years probably, I think. So what our theme for today is blossoming. Actually, I shouldn't really get too much into it because I think it's a bit early. So what I'm going to do instead is actually get my smudge stick alight and just get myself together. So just get yourself together if you need to. Take off your shoes, relax, and we'll see.
Merlin, away. Come on, Daddy, away.
Hello.
Come on, Daddy.
I had a friend. Okay, I'm going to light the smudge stick. So I've got a smudge stick just to help clear our space. So I'm going to start with that. So take a nice deep breath. Nearly ready. Oh, I've got a butterfly. Brown and orange butterfly has just stopped. So brown for grounding, orange for the sacral chakra, so our emotions, our creativity. So let's get started. Is it 10 o'clock yet? It is. We'll get started now. So take a nice deep breath. So I've got 43 people on my healing list today, and I've got you all in this bag, and we're going to do some healing together with you. Our theme for this month is blossoming, so I'll talk more about that in a minute. So if you're on my list, take a nice deep breath. If you're not on my list, you can still participate. So take a nice deep breath, and I trust that you receive what you need from our time together today. Hello. Oh, hi, Janice. Yay, you made it. Hi, Susan. Lovely to see you. Thanks for stopping by. Hi, KantiDevi. And Matt's here. Hello. Great. It's lovely to see you all. Let's just get this alight a bit more. Okay, so nice big breath. Hello, Pascal. Lovely to see you. So nice deep breath, and imagine this sacred smoke over your body and carrying away with it all negative energies, entities, cords, hooks, attacks and attachments. Basically anything that's holding you back from blossoming. Anything and everything that's holding you back from flourishing in your life. think about breathing it out, letting it go, and surrendering it to this sacred smoke. And try and do it with no doubt, just 100% trust that your intention of releasing is letting that energy go, that stuff that's holding you stuck and stagnant or holding you back. So nice big breath. I'm just going to stop talking and take 3 really big breaths, cleansing breaths, and I encourage you to take 3 big cleansing breaths too. So in your own time. Thank you. So it is. Thank you, Sacred Smoke. I'll just put my smudge stick out. So I determined that our theme was going to be blossoming. Hello, and that's right, I had to say hello to a few other people. Valentina, hello. Priscilla, hi. Daniela, thank you. Loretta. Okay, so I decided that our theme would be blossoming. Hi Tiffany, hi Marguerite, hi Coach Tabby, lovely to see you all. So earlier on in March I decided that our theme would be blossoming because I was doing a lot of work around the lotus energy. As you may remember, I was making a lotus, a ceramic lotus. I was exploring the lotus energy a lot. I also pulled a card when I asked what our theme should be, and it was this, the blossoming card from the healing energy cards. So that's where our theme sort of started. And as I connect here now towards the end of March, I feel this is more relevant than ever. I made some notes about blossoming and some other things, other words that we could perhaps think about that might encompass that energy of blossoming, like flourishing, opening, growing, and becoming was also another one. But I feel opening is really super important, and I've talked about this quite a lot. And rebirthing, yeah, exactly. Opening's really important because if we close ourselves off or hold ourselves back or hold on tightly to something, we're not allowing ourselves to be open to receiving the abundance or receiving the new ideas or receiving the improvements in our life or the solutions or the clarity. So opening, which is also to me like blossoming, is a really important energy to tap into or think about quite often. It's a bit like the energy of allowing, so allowing change or improvement to come, but also opening to it. So notice if you've been feeling a bit closed off, especially in your heart, especially with how you feel, and perhaps especially also mentally. Have you been mentally closed off? Sometimes we get very rigid and stubborn with our thinking, and that can automatically close us off as well. So where are you feeling closed? Because we're looking at blossoming and opening and growing and rebirthing and flourishing during our time together today. So I've got the blossoming card. I'm going to stick here somewhere. See if it will stay for now. Now I've got my deck of cards. And I have my, how am I going to work this? Let's see. So I've got my bag with everyone's name in it. So like I said before, we've got 43 names here. And I've bought it's got seaweed stuck to it, one of my favourite little pottery pots that I made. And it just feels really beautiful. So I'm actually going to say your names, and I'm going to place you in here, into this pot. Do we need to see this? Should I lower the camera down further and get this in shot? And then we can have the background in it. I think I might do that, so just bear with me a moment. I'll just juggle a few things around. So my intention when I'll let you know in a minute. We'll just sort this out. Excuse me a moment. Okay, we'll get you right down here. Whoops. How high do we need to go? Here. Let me see if I can find something. Bear with me a moment. There's lots of sticks and rocks and things around. Excuse me. Okay, sorry about that. Oh yeah, cool. I don't know, I just sneezed a ton of times. Okay, thank you for your patience. Let's get, this has got some really old shells in it. The blossoming card I'll just put here in the front. Okay, so I'm just going to sit here to the side. I'll try not to get my legs into it too much. And I do want to pull a card for everybody who I pull out. Okay, so I trust you can still hear me okay. Oh, I've probably got my feet in it. This is just how it is for now. So we've got our special flourishing blossoming bowl. It's got the blossoming card here in front of it, just out of shot. And oh, it'd be nice to be able to get this down a bit, wouldn't it? See if I can dig it into the sand. Actually, oops. I'll do that. See if I can zoom in. Does that work? Oh yeah, that will be okay, I think. Okay, so take a nice deep breath. Everyone that's open to receiving, especially those of you on the healing list that I'm going to be connecting with. And on that note, if you're not on the healing list and you'd love to be next month, then please have a look at my Temple of Balance Patron page. and you can register for next month. So I've got a bag here with the 43 people's names in it, and I'm just going to pull random ones out, and I'm going to pull from my combined Animal Kingdom and Speed of Light Oracle deck. And I'm going to pull a card that represents so the person that I'm pulled out of the hat, if you like, what's going on for you right now as far as your blossoming and your flourishing. So what's holding you back? What might be good to think about to help you open up, to grow and become more of who you are by opening up, blossoming and flourishing as best as you can. After I've pulled all the names and a card for everyone, I'm going to, I don't know, we'll see what happens. We'll just focus on this for now. So let's start. I'll put this bag here. All right, nice big breath. The first person is David Magnus. Take a nice deep breath for me, David. And your card around blossoming and flourishing is this, love. And it feels like love is the key to helping you blossom and flourish. So you might want to really think about how you can infuse love into everything. Everything that you do, everything that you say, everything that you think. So David, you're in our flourishing bowl. Now I'm putting all the cards back, so there's chances we'll get same cards come up. Next is Leslie Laagel. Nice big breath, Leslie. And what do you need to know about your blossoming at this time? You have the fiddler crab. Be on guard, but this doesn't mean to be paranoid. So I feel just be careful that you're not too much on guard or too overprotective or too overcautious or making things too complicated. There's a feeling here of actually letting your guard down is what I feel for you, Leslie, and that will help you blossom. So see how that resonates. Everything I share is a guide only, so just take on board what resonates and what feels right at the time and let the rest go. Okay, next is Natalie Papp. Natalie, nice big breath. Let's see which card you need in regards to your blossoming in this moment. And we have projection. This reminds you to stay focused. Stay focused. Don't let doubt or your insecurities or your fear stop you from blossoming or growing and stop you from flourishing. So really focus on your growth, your opening at this time. So I trust that makes sense, Natalie. You're in our blossoming pot, my special little pot. Okay, next person is Marguerite Pepper Brady. Nice big breath. And your guidance around blossoming is this, the Earth Dragon. It says physical reformation. This is about letting your physical body and your physical life reform and be remolded into a new and improved form, basically. So consider what's going on for you physically and where you can shift and adjust and push and pull and remold different parts of yourself and your life to support your blossoming. So into the blossoming pot you go. Thank you. Next is Carol White. Carol, nice big breath. Breathing is a great way to open us up and align us with that energy of blossoming. Oops, Carol, come back. Stay, Carol. Okay, we'll pop you under a little shell or something. That might keep you there. Okay, Carol. Yeah, so our breathing can really help us open up. I'll just hold you in my little fingers. Oh, where's that breeze coming from? It was sudden. Okay, we have shelter for you, Carol. So this is talking about the safety of your home, your safe shelter, your safe place. And this is the place I feel where you're most likely to blossom and grow at this time and flourish, is around the home and around the area where you feel safe. So the safety of the tree, the safety of the shelter. So keep that in mind, Carol. You're in our pot. Excuse me. There's a bit of pollen, I think, going up my nose around here. Okay, next is this person. Loretta, that's you. Are you still here? Loretta Martin. Take a nice big breath. And see which card comes up for you. Loretta, it's this. Archangel Michael. He talks about securing your boundaries and being really particular about, I want to say, who you invest your time with or how you spend your time in regards to your blossoming and keeping your energy positive and uplifted. So be aware or beware of negativity or negative type situations or people that may be closing you off. So if you want to flourish and blossom, really think about your boundaries as what's coming up there. So I trust that makes sense. Thanks, Loretta. Next from my healing list is Janice. Janice Chalmers. Take a nice big breath. And we'll see what comes up for you. Okay, we have this. It's the Black Panther, and the Black Panther's reminding you to find acceptance. So this feels to me like your, what would you say, bitterness or your frustration is holding you in a closed space right now. So if you could really think about maybe over the next few days how you can find acceptance about your life, maybe how things have turned out, or the things that aren't the way you hoped that they would be. If you can find acceptance, that would really help you open up and blossom. So acceptance is the key for you that's coming through. So Janice, you're in our blossoming pot. I'm going to take the pot, I think, down to the water when I'm done here. It's calling to sit in the beautiful bay. Next is Ann Osias. So Ann, take a nice big breath and we'll see what comes up for you. Am I still streaming and everything? Yep. Be funny if you saw it, a big head just pop in there. Okay, Ann, we have the Raven. So to help yourself blossom and flourish, you're being encouraged to face your shadow side with honesty. Face your fears. But the key really here is about being super honest with yourself. So if you're scared about something, be honest about it. It's a sure way to help shift the energy straight away. So face your shadow with honesty, Ann, and watch your life blossom. Thank you. Next is Pamela Florea. Pamela, take a nice big breath. And your guidance is the zebra. You're being encouraged to look for alternative options. So keep your options open, is the feeling here, Pamela. Keep your options open, especially in regards to your blossoming and your flourishing. Keep your options open. So try not to get too rigid about this is the only way, because it's not. Think about what other alternative options there are. So in you go, into our blossoming pot. Next on my list is Christopher Regan. Christopher, take a nice big breath. And your card or guidance is this, the flamingos. This talks about being sociable. So this suggests that stepping out of isolation may be a really important thing for you to consider over these next few days, and especially if you've been thinking about trying something new or starting a new hobby or putting yourself out there a little bit more than you have been. So your willingness to step out of isolation is what's going to potentially help you blossom. So Christopher, I trust that makes sense, and thank you. You're in our pot. It's funny, the wind's just getting up like this. It's coming in westerly, or southerly actually. Oh no, it is westerly, not that it matters. Okay, Kimberly Veness, you're next. Kimberly, take a nice big breath. And your guidance around blossoming is, we've got a featured card, so it says take the 4th card from the top, which is the dolphin. So you've got the dolphin, and can you see those? The dolphin and the stellar cycle. So this talks about in the long term, so over the next year, in the long term, you're being encouraged to follow dolphin's message, which is celebrate. So really thinking about, to help you blossom in your life, to celebrate, be grateful for every day, every moment or person that you appreciate, that you genuinely appreciate, and that will help you blossom and open up. So Kimberly, into our flourishing, blossoming pot. Okay, how's everyone doing there? Trust that you're doing good. Okay, Courtney Smith, this is your time now. So nice big breath. And your guidance. This is great guidance too for all of us, really. So there might be some that really stand out for you. You've got the eagle's nest. This is about preparing yourself. I feel in some ways, just be cautious you're not over preparing, and just surrender and let the preparations go and allow yourself to blossom, whether you're preparing or whether you're already there where you're trying to go to. So, you know, like, it makes me think of, I hear sometimes, especially in Americans on television, not that I watch that much, but I hear them saying that they need to, I guess because the health system's a bit different there, that they need to prepare a lot before they can have a child. You know, like get a lot of money behind them and get secure with different things. It's a bit different here in Australia. So we don't need to prepare so much because our healthcare doesn't really cost us anything. So there's a sense here of, you know, just being careful that you're not over preparing for something. So Courtney, into the pot you go. And the blossoming card can stay. Okay, next is Matthew Keith. Nice big breath. Oops, I dropped all the cards, hold on. Okay, Matthew, you have this, the macaw, and the macaw talks about bold and daring communication. So to help you blossom and flourish at this time, you've really been encouraged to look at your communication. So how you communicate with yourself primarily, but also your communications with other people. So ensure that you're doing your best to be open and expressive in how you feel or what you need to add to a conversation, instead of just sitting back in silence. So your communications is what's going to help you blossom further. So Matthew, into the pot you go. Okay, let's have a little bit of a shift here. I'm going to zoom you out, I think. Oh, no, that's in, out. Come on, work. Hold on. Okay. Oh. Yeah. Okay. We'll. I want to try and get the water in here. Raven's having a great time behind us. There's a little bit of water, guys. Oh, and just excuse my legs here. Okay, put the flourishing card underneath there. Okay, now we will continue. Next out of the bag is Rebecca Ross. Rebecca, nice big breath. And what you need to know in regards to your blossoming and flourishing is the zebra. Can you see that? It says alternative options. So you're being encouraged to, Rebecca, to look at other options. Be careful that you're not thinking that there's no other way or there's no other solution or there's no other option. That something is there that you may have overlooked or may not have seen. So what you might want to do is expand your perspective and look at the bigger picture so that other options can reveal themselves. So this is especially in regards to your blossoming and your growing and your opening at this time. Look for other options, especially if you've been feeling closed off. Okay, next is Elaine Thelen. Elaine, a nice big breath. It's interesting trying to shuffle a big deck of cards like this with a name in my fingers. We have the gorilla. The gorilla says to do the right thing. So this is basically reminding you just to really commit to staying true. Staying true to others, of course, but especially staying true to you. When you reach a point of self-love where you can't even lie or pretend or not be true to yourself, then you've reached a really interesting level of self-love. So doing the right thing is not just about doing the right thing by others and in situations and being fair, but it's also about doing the right thing and being honest with yourself. So can you love yourself enough to do the right thing for you? And it feels to me like there's something in that's holding you back from blossoming. So it might be, it feels like something like a situation that you're in, that you're living in, that you might not be happy with. And maybe you've been pretending that everything's okay or trying to tolerate it or what have you. But it's something perhaps worth thinking about, this area that's stopping you from blossoming. So Elaine, in the blossoming pot you go. Next is, drum roll, it's Jane Larson. Jane, nice big breath. Hello, hello. Oh, I can't really read your comments at this angle. It's not very good light, but I will read a bit later. So Jane, take a nice big breath, and we've got seaweed. And this card, it's the macaw. So the macaw's come up for you as well, Jane, which suggests that one of the biggest blocks you have in blossoming right now is your communication. If you're noticing that other people seem to not be communicating clearly with you, there's communication issues you're noticing with other people, it usually always comes back to ourselves. So when I'm not listening to how I feel, when I'm not communicating clearly with myself, I'm going to notice people not communicating very clearly with me across the board. And it's always good to turn that inward. So where can you open up or express yourself clearer on the communication front that will help you blossom? Communication is such a tricky one, but it's so important in helping the energy move and helping us move to where we need to be in our life and in our relationships. Next is Gayle McCoy. Gayle, nice big breath for me, please. And we'll see what comes up for you. So if you want to be a part of this next month, you're very welcome to sign up on my Patron account, or just be happy to connect and watch. So this is the cockatoo, and the cockatoo talks about being compromising. So this suggests that it might be worth thinking about for you, Gayle, how rigid you are or how uncompromising you might be in a situation. And think about softening that so you can open up more. The cockatoo's, of course, very vocal as well, so there might also be some communication things that are coming up that are also blocking you from blossoming. So to blossom, let yourself open up on the communication front, and also be compromising. Maybe be compromising in conversations. So just be careful you're not being too stubborn and rigid in your conversations. That's you, Gayle. Into the pot you go. Next is Suzie Nicholls. Suzie, big breath, please. Let's see what your guidance is around blossoming. We have this. It's Crystal Beach. It says split the deck and take the top card. Okay. Let's put my deck down for a moment. We have these two cards that have come up together. Crystal Beach. This talks about getting clear about something. So really, you know, there's a feeling with the Crystal Beach about feeling indecisive, lacking in clarity, not knowing what to do, feeling uncertain. And I feel that there's a connection here with your confidence, and your confidence levels perhaps could do with a boost to help you feel clearer about what you want and where you're going. So it feels like your confidence is worth exploring to help you step stronger into a space of blossoming and stronger into a space of joy and transformation. So because you feel uncertain or undecided, I would think about how you can boost your confidence, your strength, your personal power in helping the clarity come. So Suzie, into the pot you go. Here comes a gust of wind. Okay, next is... Oops, I need to put these cards back. In you go. Next is Kimberly Revel. Kimberly, nice big breath, please. And we'll see what comes up for you. Okay, you have this. Look at that, the lotus heart. So to help you blossom and flourish in your life, here comes our doggy friend. Let me hold the camera. Hello.
Hey, Maddie. How you going?
Yeah, good.
How am I sleeping today?
All right. Okay, Kimberly. We had the lotus heart. So this is about really thinking about when you're questioning or investigating how you can blossom more, is to find peace in your heart. How can you find peace and contentment in your heart for who you are, where you are in your life? The key to your blossoming is a peaceful and content heart. I'm going to pop you into our flourishing pot. Namaste. Thank you. Okay, hopefully it's not too windy. Is it too windy on the microphone? Do I need to move? Please let me know. I'll keep an eye on the comments. We've still got quite a few people to go. So we've got Bronwyn Usher now. So Bronwyn, nice big breath. We can work with this cleansing wind too, can't we? Take a nice big breath and let the winds of change sweep in, the winds of improvement. So Bronwyn, your card is this, light codes. It talks about receiving new energy and making sure as best as you can that you're open to receiving what you need. Change, new ideas, light codes, information, memories, remembering. And this feels to be the key to your blossoming. So maybe more time connecting with spirit, more time in meditation might be really beneficial in helping you blossom in your life. So Bronwyn, in the pot you go. I trust it's okay if no one's saying anything. So let's continue. Next is Angie Griswold. Angie, your card is this. It's expression. Just come up quite a bit actually in regards to our blossoming. So this talks about communication and really trusting what you have to express and say and delivering it as honestly and as clearly as you can. Feels to be important. So expressing yourself, not just through your words, but through creativity, through body movement, through other gestures or other creative things that you might do, will help get the energy of blossoming opening for you. So what do you need to do to express yourself? Thanks, Angie. Next is Martha Samuels. Martha, nice big breath, please. Oops, dropped you. Martha, your guidance is this. It's the owl, persistent. So you're being encouraged to be patient and persistent with yourself and to be patient with your blossoming. You know, it's a process, it's a journey. It's not something where we click our fingers and we're suddenly feeling like we're a blossoming flower. It's a process. So you've been encouraged to be patient and persistent, be patient with yourself and trust in the process, trust in the journey. So Martha, in the flourishing pot you go. Next is Allison. Allison, I think I saw you before. Hello to everyone that's stopped by too that I haven't seen yet. Let's see what comes up for you, Allison. We have this, the Temple of Maya, manifestation, revelation and purpose. So what will help you blossom is a sense of structure in some ways, a sense of purpose, reason for waking up perhaps, a sense of purpose, a sense of belonging. So in many ways it feels like structure, but balancing your structure with your flow, if that makes sense. And that's the key at this point for your blossoming. So in the flourishing pot you go. Next is Fiona Coughlin. Fiona, nice big breath please. And we'll go with this for you. It's the sea dragon. And the sea dragon says to be gentle with yourself. So a key for you in helping you blossom is your gentleness. Your gentleness towards yourself. So you flourish and blossom through your kindness, your softening your harsh thoughts, softening your critical thinking when you're being too self-critical, and letting yourself really embrace the gentleness of who you are. That's the key at the moment for your blossoming. So in the pot you go. Next is Maria Cunningham Atmore. Maria, nice big breath Maria. Oops. And we'll go with this card for you. It's the bee, the honey bee. This reminds you to be really efficient with how you spend your time. That you have actually got time to blossom. You have got time to grow. You've got time to open. So try not to make time or something else, time and money is another thing. Try not to make these things as an excuse for not blossoming. So the key to your blossoming right now is your own efficiency with your resources, including your time, your finances, things like that. So I trust that makes sense, Maria. In the pot you are. Chelsea Keith, you're now. Take a nice deep breath and we'll see what comes up for you. Oops, dropped you. Come back. Okay, we have this, the ladybug. The ladybug says that it's a favourable time. This is what I would call the good luck, good fortune card in the deck. I was just looking, I thought that might have been an eagle flying past. So this is the good fortune card in the deck. I feel that things are more favourable than you realise for your blossoming. It feels like things are lining up more than you think. So what I feel is that if you can somehow get parts of yourself out of the way, and I'm seeing things like tentacles, that you've got tentacles sabotaging your abundance. The raven agrees with me, I see, going past. That there's tentacles that you're putting out and in some way sabotaging your own happiness. Maybe feeling guilty or feeling okay, not really sure exactly what this is. But if you can get those tentacles back and let yourself recognize the abundance and the favourable energy that is around, I feel this is going to be the key to your blossoming at this time. So I trust that makes sense, Chelsea, and into the pot you go. Okay, we've still got a few people here. The birds are loving this wind. Okay, Rayna, oops, come back, Rayna. Rayna Ortiz. Rayna, let's see what comes up for you. And we have this gathering. This talks about a gathering of like-minded people. So there's a circle or a gathering, a meeting of some sort. Maybe that you already attend, or something you've been thinking about, or something you might need to look into that's going to help you blossom. There's insight, there's connections to be made with a group of some sort that will potentially help you blossom. So you're ready to step forward into this circle, into this gathering of like minds. So I trust that makes sense. Into the pot go, Rayna. Next is KantiDevi Wedad. Nice big breath, please. Okay, we've got this card for you. It's the Eagle's Nest. So this talks about energy around the home, and also preparation. I really feel drawn to the nest that this is, and I feel like it's you collecting and gathering resources and tools to help you blossom and connect. In fact, I feel like part of blossoming for you is connection. So use your tools, your resources that you've already been creating and collecting and gathering to create this beautiful nest. The nest that will support you in a safe way for your blossoming, which we could use the other word, connection, because I feel like this is really about connection for you. So I trust that makes sense, KantiDevi. Into the blossoming, flourishing pot you go. Okay, let's get these cards together. Next is Sandi Greenham. Sandi, nice big breath, please. And your guidance is our friend, the macaw. So again, talking about communications and really thinking about where your communications are blocking you from blossoming and blocking you from flourishing, and how you can turn any communication issues back to yourself and start listening and communicating more clearly with who you are, with how you feel, with what's going on for your body, what your needs are. Listen to what your needs are by listen to what your body's communicating to you. So communication is a big one for this specific theme. Okay, next is Isabelita Isabelita Rivera. Nice big breath, please. Ah, come back. Ah, gotcha. Okay, we've got the dough for you. Feel deeply. So the key to your blossoming is your sensitivity, Isabelita, your ability to feel and be sensitive, to be vulnerable, to be fragile. And it's through that delicacy, that tenderness, that your beautiful flower petals, those delicate flower petals, will open. So let yourself feel and accept that you are a sensitive being, and that it's through your sensitivity that's the key to your blossoming. So I trust that makes sense, Isabelita. Thank you. Next is Sarah Jones. Sarah, nice big breath. And we'll go with this for you. It's the giraffe. And the giraffe is suggesting that you look at things differently. So think about your perspective in regards to your blossoming. Where are you holding yourself back in regards to your perspective and how you're seeing things? Maybe, for example, you think that to blossom and to flourish is hard work. Well, it's going to be hard work if you believe that. So that's the type of thing that you might want to soften that perspective so that you can see that blossoming is actually much easier and simpler than you perhaps thought. So into the pot you go, Sarah. Thank you. Next, oh, my foot's falling asleep. Next is Zeina Baksmaty. Okay, your card is the frog. So the frog is about clearing, cleansing, purging. I'm actually quite surprised that we haven't had any clearing and cleansing, letting go cards yet, actually, now I think about it. So this is very much about thinking about clearing your inner and outer environment of negativity and blocks and toxins and toxic things, toxic situations, toxic things that you consume that are blocking you from connecting, blocking you from flourishing and blossoming. So clearing and purging feels to be an important thing to think about, Zeina. So into the pot you go. Now, just while we are in this space, I've got a few more people in there yet, but I'm just going to play the base chakra chime just at this point. Actually, I feel for a bit of clearing and purging. So take a nice deep breath. If I haven't connected with your name yet, then still take a nice deep breath. This is not just for people in the pot, this is for us all. So think about letting go and surrendering what's inside, mentally, emotionally, physically, that's holding you back from flourishing. And we can work too with this wind to clear anything else out too. Okay, thank you. So it looks like I've got about 8 people left. Next on my list is Melissa Castillo. Melissa. Okay, your card and guidance is this: scattered. Okay, so I feel for you to consider in regards to your blossoming and your flourishing, that you're not making it seem more out of reach, more overwhelming or more complicated than it really is. So there's a sense here of simplifying, simplifying what you want, simplifying what you believe, and not overcomplicating, and therefore bringing you into a space of overwhelm in regards to your blossoming and what that looks like for you. Just concentrate and stay focused on keeping things simple is the feeling here. So I trust that makes sense for you, Melissa. Into the pot you go. Next is Nicole Wiggins. Nicole, nice big breath, please. Actually, we're going to just have a bit of a change of scenery. Just a wee bit. Let's go here. Okay, let's do that. Let's do something different. So I'll just move myself a bit. Okay, so Nicole Wiggins, nice big breath. Oops. Okay, your guidance around blossoming is this. What is it? Oh yeah, light codes. So light codes, this is about receiving new ideas, new information. Remembering who you are feels to be key here. Remembering that you are blossoming, that you're already a blossom opened flower. You're already connected. So this is about remembering what you've forgotten. Remembering what you've forgotten. Let yourself remember who you are. The infinite, loving, blossomed being that you are. Beautiful, Nicole. Into the pot. Whoop. Hello. That's fine. You're right. Okay, next on my list is Andrea Stuart. Andrea, nice big breath. Oops, I'm shuffling the wrong way. Hold on a minute, that's why. I forgot to put that card back in. Okay, Andrea, this is yours. Focus. Focus on holding position, and especially in regards to you know what you need. Not allowing naysayers or other people's opinions or projections to tell you what you need, including me. So you're being encouraged to focus on what you need and what you know you need to blossom and what's really important for you. As you hold your position, you grow. So trust in the growth, trust in what you need. You're your best counsel, and that goes for all of us. We are our best counsel. So it's good to receive guidance or other perspectives like this, but ultimately it always comes back to us as individuals. We know what's best for us, and that's something that's really good to work on if we're not feeling it. So next is Tami Dunn. Tami, nice big breath please. Hello everybody. Oh, hold on. What is going on here? Oh, did I just turn that over? Hold on, let me just concentrate. Tami, nice big breath. Oh. I'm being very easily entertained here. Okay, we've got this for you. It's the Emperor moth. It says to put things into order. So this is creating some type of order, a natural order to think about to help you blossom. It might be creating a regular meditation every day, for example, or something creative that you would like to do each day. Some type of order that you can create in your flexible flowing day that will give you a chance to blossom. And it feels like something creative. So right. Okay. The wind is getting wilder and wilder. This is what happens when you live in the roaring 40s. The wind just, it's constantly windy, really. So Charley Ross, you're now. It's a nice big breath, Charley. And your guidance around blossoming is this, the lamb. And this hasn't come up yet either, embracing our youthful, fun, playful side. So it's through fun and playfulness and creativity that will help you blossom and flourish, Charley. So if you've been too busy lately or not having time to connect and let yourself blossom, maybe make some time to play. Do something fun and playful and humorous. I trust that makes sense, Charley. In the pot you go. Next is Avril Daly. So nice big breath, Avril. Okay, Avril. I guess this is really putting my wind microphone thing to the test. See if it works when I listen to the replay. This is a featured card, the Shaman, so I'm going to just grab another card to go with it. Okay, we've got the Shaman and the Gorilla for you, Avril. So the Shaman talks about your privacy and making private time to reflect and heal and mend and really work out what you want. Oops. And really work out what you want in regards to doing the right thing, doing what's right for you, what's right for your heart, what resonates with your truth. So if you're not sure how to proceed, now is the time to embrace your private time and really reflect on that. And this is the key to your blossoming at this point anyway. There you go, Avril, into the pots you go. Next, got a few more here. Let's see, we've got a couple bunched up. I think after this one I've got 3, so we've got 4 including this. Amanda Sanders. Amanda, nice big breath. And we've got this for you. Oh, it's the air dragon. It says your mind is powerful. So your mind is the key at this point to your blossoming. The power of your mind. And using your mind to help you stay focused or following whatever it is that you need to follow that's in alignment with your blossoming. So your mind is the key, the power of your mind. Thanks, Amanda. Into the pot you go. Next, I'm always fascinated to see who's last. Next is Angela James. Angela, your guidance is this. The Spirit Dragon. That is so cool. So the Spirit Dragon, heightened energy. This talks about your spiritual connections. Feel to be, at the moment, the key to your blossoming. Your spiritual connections, meditating, your spiritual psychic practices or interests, the rituals or whatever it is that you like to do are the keys to your blossoming. So don't forget or neglect your spiritual interests. So Angela, into the pot you go. Next is Radzy. Radzy, nice big breath. And your guidance is the Shaman. So let's grab this as an extra. Okay, so you've got the Shaman and the Eagle's Nest. This talks about your time of privacy to reflect and mend and work out what you want, especially in regards to regards to what? In regards to creating a safe nest, a safe place, an honest nest for yourself. And this is the key to your blossoming, is your assessment and reflection of what you need to create, to nurture yourself. So it feels through nurturing and reflection comes your blossoming at a new level. So thanks, Radzy. And lucky last, who will it be? Lucky last is Elle Du Bois. Elle, nice big breath, you're lucky last. And then we'll work out what we're going to do with your pot. Elle, your guidance is the wolf. Secure your boundaries. So you're being encouraged to really consider how you can blossom more in your life, is to be more picky and choosy about the energy, the company that you keep. Especially people that may be negative or pull you down or put you down, and that it's time to pick and choose and be more picky about who you spend your precious time with and how you spend your precious time. And that, I feel, is the key to your blossoming. So thank you, Elle. In the pot you go. Thanks everyone so much for your patience. Let's head down quickly to I should be able to hold on a moment, let's just see. Let's turn the camera around for one. So I think I should have my microphone against the wind, hopefully. Actually, let's go over to this tree and grab my basket. Okay, we're just going to do just a little ritual for everyone in the pot, and then we'll finish up there. I just love this tree here. So I'm going to place this pot up here. Now if names blow out, I'm not particularly worried, because I feel that that would be part of what we're doing. Okay, so nice big breath, everybody. And this is now to enforce your blossoming, to anchor it into your life, to commit to putting into practice what you may have learned or gathered to help you, actually I don't know if that's picking up, to help you flourish in your life. You can absolutely do what you need to do and put the practice into place, the theory into practice, in regards to what you need to do to flourish and blossom. So thank you so much for connecting. I'm going to actually bury your name somewhere really beautiful in the sand around here, just to help anchor this energy further. So, oh gosh, this wind is totally crazy. Hello, as you can see. So thanks for connecting, and thanks for your patience too, and I trust that you've enjoyed this connection today. If you want to connect next month for our healing event for patrons on our healing list, just go to my Patreon account at Temple of Balance, or at Patreon at Temple of Balance. The link is with this video in the information. And I'll connect with you again next month towards the end of April. So have a fantastic rest of your March, and thank you so much for connecting today. Bye! You never know, I might make my way to you. The wind might blow me somewhere else. picking up. So I'll see you later. Bye. How do I turn this off?